Hi guys and welcome back to the channel. Today I've got two replays in the American Tier 9 Premium Medium Tank, the Arachnid AE Phase 1. Now you might be thinking, AE Phase 1, is that not a heavy tank? Why is it a medium tank? Well, that's because they changed it for the Monster Mash mode, because they wanted to create a more unique tank as opposed to the Thankyou that already existed. That's a Hot Wheels version of the AE Phase 1 that has the same hop ability as the Arachnid, but you can't buy that tank anymore because the Hot Wheels license expired and it's probably never going to come back. So that's why they created the tank as they did, and to make it more unique and different, as opposed to having three different versions of the AE Phase 1, which is an alright tank, but it's just a bit you know, and they wanted to make something more out there for people to buy. They made it into a medium tank, and they gave it a two-shot autoloader, which is actually a pretty fun tank to play. As a medium tank, it's a little bit slow. It goes at 45 kilometers an hour top speed, but with the traction system, as you can see, we do get up to 49 kilometers an hour, which, while isn't that quick for a medium tank, it's still pretty decent. It's at the levels of a Centurion, right, where it goes about 50 kilometers an hour, which you can make do with. Now, naturally, because they've made it into a medium tank, the armor is also weaker, so you have to bear in mind that your turret armor is nowhere near as good as the AE Phase 1, but you can still, because of angles, ricochet the odd shot here and there off of it. Just don't try and sit in front of guns that have like 260, 270, 280, you know, all that kind of jazz, plus with your turret, and expect that you're going to bounce everything, because you're not. The one thing you do lack, though, compared to the AE Phase 1, is a cupola. And you actually lose the cupola on this tank, as opposed to the AE Phase 1, but obviously, like I say, your turret front is slightly weaker. This two-shot autoloader is very, very nice. So he's got 238 pen on the standard AP, with 280 pen on the premium heat. Now, 238 on the standard AP is okay. It's okay for a tier 9 medium tank, but when you're facing tier 10s, it starts to struggle a little bit. But you do have 280 heat pen, which is enough to go through those tier 10s, unless you're facing something like a Type 5 Heavy or a Mouse, where you're truly having to get their flanks to be able to pen them, because even their frontal weak spots, you're not going to pen that often or at all, really, with your standard AP. So, yeah, that's a pain. And then because you've got heat, there's a big chance that when you're shooting them in the side, which is another spot where, you know, you're trying to shoot them when you flank them, that it just gets absorbed by the spaced armor, and then it's completely useless, which can be pretty irritating at times, but you can still make it work. And at the end of the day, if you do get the side, actually, the 238 pen AP is good enough anyway, right? So yeah, this thing goes, it's pretty slow for a medium tank, but if you put a traction system on, it's not too bad. The penetration's so-so. You've got 320 alpha, so that means you've got a 640 clip, and it reloads pretty damn quickly. The gun handling on it is pretty decent. It sometimes doesn't like hitting the things you shoot at, but that's RNG, I suppose. But for the most part, the gun is actually pretty okay if you set it up to have the best gun handling you can with the cruise skills, vertical stabilizers, you know, all that jazz. The one thing that has happened with the Arachnid is that they have released a new skin for the Arachnid, so one that you can actually put on the tank, which gets rid of this spider. Now, you might be going, you know what, I don't mind the spider, so you don't have to put the camo on, you're fine, you can still have the spider. But for those that find the spider absolutely hideous and basically would never play the tank because it looks goofy, I don't know, if they'd made it more spooky, maybe, but it just looks like a goofy cartoon. Most of the others aren't cartoonish, they're like sort of that spooky, sort of more dark theme to it. This was the only one that looks more comical as opposed to spooky, like Halloween tank should, right? Which, I don't know, that's why I'm really not a fan of it. But you can get rid of it by using the skin that you can earn for free straight away as soon as you use the Monster Hunter op. And it basically makes it look more like the Thankyou does, where it's just got like a little spider's web over the top of it and a spider on top. You will see that in the next replay, what it looks like. So in terms of the crew, on the Arachnid, I do run Born Leader, Rapid Reload, Sixth Sense, Situational Awareness, Trap Mechanic, Steady Aim, Snapshot, Run and Gun, Off-Road Driving. Off-Road Driving to help the ground resistances as much as possible, so I can actually hit that 49 kilometers an hour with the traction system as easily as I can. Just reduces the effect of the terrain resistances on my tank, really, so that, you know, we have every chance of hitting that top speed. All the gun perks, because we want to focus on making this gun as good as it can be, because like I say, it can be a bit derpy if you don't focus on it, so I want to focus it with those perks. And then in terms of equipment, I run the vertical stabilizers, or the gun stabilizer, optics, and the Traction system, like I say, traction system because you want to get faster, because if you leave it at 45 kilometers an hour, it is a little bit slow, so you do want to make it faster if you can with that traction system. Optics to make your view range as good as it humanly can be, because I mean without a crew you get up to 458 meters view range, which is pretty damn nice with the optics, and then you get it up to near 500 odd, I think it is, with the situational awareness, born leader, etc. from the crew. And then gun stabilizer, like I say, to make this gun as good as possible. But you know what? If you feel like the gun is good enough without the vertical stabilizers or gun stabilizer, run the powertrain as well to make it so that it can, like I say, can go as fast as it humanly can do. And if you put a powertrain on, you will get up to 51 kilometers an hour as well. In terms of the crew, you could also drop the off-road driving if you wanted to put rapid aim on or clutch braking, armor angling. There's many different perks you can put on. That's just what I do and what I run generally on the tank. So, that first game you saw, we finished with 4 kills, 4.7k damage, the 2.5k assistance, the ace tanker, the high caliber, the 1831 base XP. Really nice game for the Arachnid on that map, which was Swamp. It was Swamp. There we go, we got there in the end. And we're on to the second replay. The second replay, we are on Great Wall. And as you can see, this is the Arachnid with the skin that you get for free as soon as the Monster Hunter... Well, I think it's as soon as you get the first sets of points with the Monster Hunter earn up. And you will get this skin. And then you can make the tank look far less hideous and more fun. The one thing that's weird with this skin is that it gives the Arachnid a cupola when the Arachnid armor model actually doesn't have a cupola. Which is a little bit weird. It's a little bit weird. But, okay, it still makes it look better, it makes it look nicer, and to be honest, this tank is a pretty fun tier 9 medium tank, and you can earn it for free, like, naturally, in this earn up now in the Monster Hunter, because it's been a year since it came out. And is it worth earning? I think it's a pretty solid choice. Like I say, the Monster Hunter earn up, there is no wrong choice, really, when you're picking the tanks. It's down to what you enjoy, right? Because there's a great plethora of tanks that you can pick up. Because you can enjoy lower tier bashing, right? You can enjoy the sort of more heavily armoured tier 6 gameplay, for example, and pick the Kaiju. Would I personally pick the Kaiju? No, I don't think I would. I don't think it's good enough for picking like that, and it can't run the Derp gun, so it's not me, because it's not Derpers love, Derpers life. But you know, some people out there do like that Japanese heavy type playstyle for the lower tiers. You know, that tank that can go bounce some more shots here and there, has a big hefty gun for the tier, has some armor, so people might pick that. Or you could be picking the Arachnid, like I say, because you like the higher tier gameplay, and you see the gameplay of this 2-shot autoloader and go, you know, I like this. Oh, by the way, this VZ55 is coming. He gets tracked there by the artillery. I know if I track him, he's going to die to my friends behind me, and that's why you track something and don't just go for the pen all the time. But yeah, you might think, okay, I like the higher tier gameplay, I'm going for the Arachnid. Or you could want preferential matchmaking in a tier 8 prem, so you could go for the Bog Horror, which is a pretty decent heavy tank for preferential matchmaking, although it can be a bit derpy, but it does have a good silver earn. Or the Gorinich, because, you know, that's preferential as well. Or you could love light tanks and want to pick either the Hurlenhund, or the Lycan, or the Dragon. You know, there is no wrong choice. It's perfectly down to what you enjoy. You can enjoy also the brawly playstyle of a medium tank like the Inferno, you know, because the Inferno is also an absolutely fantastic tank. We'll have a video coming up on that at some point very soon as well. In fact, I'm going to try my best to get as many videos up on these monster tanks before the earn up finishes, right? So that you can get a look at all of them, whether there's ace tankers in them or not, essentially. But yeah, we do have 2 nice games in this video for the Arachnid, besides the point. And we have so far got up to 2.4k damage with 1500 assistance in this tier 10 game, and we've shut down that E100. We effectively got rid of that VZ55 that came after us. When that VZ55 came after us, right, he just wanted to come over and drop his 2 shells. Oh god, that's an AVRE. He clearly wanted to come over and get the 2 shells into me. So when I saw that I had such a following behind me in TDs, I thought, you know what, I'm going to track this guy. And as soon as he got tracked by the artillery as well, it was like, that is perfect. Because we tracked him in place, and then he got blapped for 1,000 and he died. So the AVRE fires, and we fired 2 shots, one at the side of his turret and one at his cupola, both ricocheted, because that's just what happens when you shoot at AVREs. And we do the thing that you really need to do, really, to be able to guarantee you're going to pen an AVRE, and that is, he fired, so we got directly round his side, which would have turned his turret for our team to shoot him, and we managed to put both shots into him and shut down the AVRE. Now we're going after this machine. We get one into his side, waiting for the reload, get the second one in because we clearly can overmatch it. I assume that this is a 120mm gun, and that's what it's modelled after, but the game just doesn't tell us the calibre of this gun. But because it's an AE Phase 1, I assumed it was a 120, which is why we could actually overmatch the side of that machine. I mean, even if we had a 105, to be fair, it'd still go in anyway. We realised we could get shots into the side of these guys that are on the hill, so we got two shots into that Contracaro Mark II. We're now waiting for the reload. Thankfully, that Ruthless stopped, which means we get one shot into him. That puts him down to a one shot, but we unfortunately missed the second shot, so we couldn't get the finish off on that guy. Now again, we're waiting for the reload. That TL7 has clearly turned around to face the TD. I'm hoping to get these two shots in before the Ruthless does. The Ruthless tries to snap the shot and misses. We get both shots into that TL7. Glorious times. And as you can see, this reload is so quick on the Arachnid. This is one of the reasons why it is so nice. This two-shot, you put the damage in really, really quickly because, you know, your intra-clip reload is 2.5 seconds. So you put the damage in really, really quickly, and then the shells go back in really fast anyway, because your reload is fast. And then we finished that game with 2 kills, 5.5k damage, 1500 assistance, the Ace Tanker, the Confederate, the Sniper, 1916 base XP. A really nice game for the Arachnid, which is one of the tanks that you can earn in the Monster Hunter earn-up. And like I say, the tank is a pretty damn nice Tier 9 to play, and if you didn't want to pick it up before because it looked absolutely hideous, which I don't blame you, you will actually get a skin for it that doesn't make it hideous, which makes it a pretty damn nice choice out of the earn-up as well. So as always, everybody, thank you very much for watching. I'll see you next time.
A great success!